So it's me, Mike V again. I'm going to go back here and start over this hand. Um, Ace Queen is one of the more difficult hands that I have to deal with. Seem to go out on it quite a bit. And looking at this hand here, with Ace Queen in position, right, as the dealer, and let's kind of check this out. My initial thoughts are Ace Queen is really nice. Except for when you're up against Ace King or a pair of kings or a pair of aces, right? I think it's a hand that looks a lot better than it is, but then again, it's a really good hand. So it's a tough one for me to play. I probably play it too much or overplay it, or maybe I totally misplay it. So anyway, that's part of I think thinking about this whole thing, and why I'm even doing this, trying to think about my own play, but then ever get everybody else's opinion on things. But for me, I know just Ace Queen is not the easiest to play, which is why if we look at what happens here, 12,000 small blind, 24,000 big blind, about a 2,000 ante. I think I may have the ante wrong. I think it may have actually been a 3,000 ante. But anyway, we've got a decent sized pot, and under the gun, we get somebody that raises right one time, two times the big blind. Not a huge bet there. So what are you going to put them on? I don't know. This may be where two folds and comes to me as a dealer. This may be a place where I would actually three bet potentially. Again, but Ace Queen being what it is, it's one of those like either you're gonna play it, I guess, strong here, or run away on a nasty board. Um, but then our villain, our small blind just calls, as does our big blind just calls. I actually put the URL here if you want to go check it out. The actual hand analysis done by, I think it's the Poker Players or Poker Pros or somebody like that, a YouTube channel, where I'm finding these nice hands at, let's see here. So that happens, and then the flop comes, and it's Rainbow Grossness, maybe one of the players limps in with a pair of fours, pairs of eights, potentially. A pair of jacks you gotta think is gonna bet earlier. Or raise, sorry. Unless villain 4 has it. Where I'm at, I mean, you got two overcards here. I'm feeling pretty good as long as things don't get too out of hand with the betting. And it actually checks around to me in the big blind. I'm sorry, in the small blind. And here I have a decision that I throw in. You're in position here. Do you bet, and if so, how much? With a pot, 200,000 approximately. I'm in position. They've checked and shown, I guess, weakness here to me. Would somebody be laying a trap with a pair of fours, pair of eights in their hand potentially? But I think I have to bet here in order to kind of figure out maybe what's going on. If I did do that here, the player in this hand actually bet 85,000, so not even half the pot. It's kind of odd. But I guess it's an alright bet, right? Unless you're showing too much weakness there, which is when somebody could do what villain 2 is going to do here and come over the top. And raises. It's kind of a smallish raise. Smaller raises, what do you think about smaller raises? Are smaller raises ones that people make trying to keep you in? So maybe I did hit. Maybe that's what he's pretended to have here. A pair of fours, a pair of eights, maybe. I don't know. And these two get out of the way, and then it's up to you to make a decision. What are you going to do here on the poll? You have two overs. You took a stab at it, though. You might run away. Now, villain 2 is the chip leader. Do you really want to get mixed up with the chip leader in this position, especially you as the second chip leader, without knowing anything? what can you put them on in a small blind? Really anything, right? Potential straight draw here. You would think, would they play 9-10 if they were suited, right? They'd play 9-10 suited. They'd limp with king queen suited. They would limp with king jack. Yeah, lots of hard things here to continue with. But our hero decides to continue by just calling. Oh, it makes us do the decision. So we're going to call and submit. That's right. There you go. And that'll show us the poll results. So that's pretty cool. Like this software here, I really like it for what we're doing. And calls. And then the 7 of clubs. Now, 7 of clubs comes, and that person had 9-10. You're screwed. Now you're thinking, well, did they have 5-6? Would they have bet there with with that type of a gut shot? I don't know. So our player, I believe, checks, and then we're bet roughly half the pot, and we gotta decide what to do. I mean, I'm still running away, I think. This is going to really cripple our hand if we do this, or cripple our stack if we do this. So I'm really thinking this is a good place to run away this late in the tournament, or at least this, six-handed at this table this late in the tournament. Really think I'm just going to run away here and fold. But what happens? Our player calls, and then a queen comes on the river. So if we called, and this person checks, or the villain checks, we really have to check. I don't see any other way, any other thing for us to do than to check here. And I'm not going to tell you the result of this hand other than we're okay. But if this person bets there, what do you do at the end, right? If the villain chip leader, shoves all in there, what are you going to do? Now, checking more than likely means they have some equity. There's nothing there that scares them. If they had a straight, they would bet there. 9-10, yeah, because even then 9-10 would be best hand, right? So our hero here checks, which is probably fine for I'm thinking as well, which you have some showdown value. But I really think that our hero here put themselves in kind of a not a great position all through this hand, and got very lucky by spiking the queen and not being bet into there at the on the river. Interesting to hear what you think, though.